boxing me.
Let's actually do the topic here.
We are doing the topic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to Boxing Me.
Yes, we're talking about boxes.
Me and boxes.
We're talking about me and boxes.
Yeah.
And how I managed to find true love with a cardboard box.
Who loves boxes better? Naked Snake or Solid Snake?
It's hard to tell. We don't know about Liquid's love for boxes, but that's the thing.
I don't think he loves boxes. I think he fears the boxes. He's boxophobic. That's fair of boxes, right?
I'm gonna look it up. I'm actually curious what the fear of cardboard boxes is.
There's a different thing about cardboard, and then there's a thing about boxes. Not just cardboard boxes, but boxes. But anyways, I got no idea what I'm doing.
Cogumbophobia. Cogum.
Condombophobia.
Yeah, C-O-G-O-M-B-O phobia.
Condom?
Cog.
Condom.
It's a G, not a D.
Cognum.
Yes.
Cognum what?
Cogumbophobia.
Condom biphobia.
Close enough.
Well, with that being said...
Anyway, some ways to overcome this fear is by taking a break through your head, breathe through your panic, face your fear. So you gotta face the box.
Face the box head on.
Yeah. You gotta challenge unhelpful thoughts by convincing yourself it's only a box.
It's a box. It can't hurt me. It can't kidnap me. It can't make me go away.
Yeah, you gotta visualize a happy place and then talk about your fear. Talk about your fear of cardboard boxes.
Box. I'm afraid of you. But I don't know your feelings about me, sir.
Box, I'm afraid of you, but I love you.
I'm afraid I'm falling in love with you, Mr. Box. Box. I fear that this love isn't natural.
Alright, let's go back
I feel in a trance.
Alright, back to the topic before we get demonetized for stupidity.
How can we get demonetized for stupidity? Just being extra stupid?
Yeah.
Extra random? But anyways, if you stuck around for that horrible, horrible display of just box love, then I guess you're really ready for the topic. Topic being, what was I gonna do first?
Oh, it was, like anyone we could talk to through history.
Oh, okay. If you could talk to one celebrity, you have one chance to to talk to one celebrity. I was going to say to walk to one celebrity, but to talk to one celebrity in your whole entire life and be fulfilled. Fulfilled? It's early. Brain, not work with the mouth hole. Brain hole, not work with the mouth hole. But anyways, if you could talk to one celebrity in your whole entire life and feel completely fulfilled, who would that celebrity be? Past, present, future. Doesn't matter. Living or dead. Doesn't matter. You have one chance to talk to one celebrity in your whole entire life. You will never meet another celebrity for as long as you live.
I was thinking like we talked about like a past celebrity.
Who would the celebrity be? And like I said, past, present, future, living or dead, who would that celebrity be, and when in their life would you want to talk to them? Before they were famous, during their beginning, or like close to their climax. In other words, past, present, future. Is your pick someone that's dead now and you would wish to be able to just have a chance to ask them a question that you would never be able to have a chance to ask? So, with pretty much everything, every topic, do put your own thoughts in the description down below if you have any. I don't want this topic just being me and my brother rambling on. So please, just, make the leprechauns happy before next month and just let them gravitate to your decision to write a comment and to allow yourself to engage into this chaos that is the world of random ConFlux. With that being said, I have a few. I did say just one. So I'm going to pick someone that I don't think I would ever have a chance to meet in my lifetime or the next. And I guess you're gonna
I'll probably pick a few too, yeah.
have the same thing. I think I should have a little bit more detail in this. What question would you want to ask them too? Like the most important question.
Yeah.
Not just any normal conversation, but like the most meaningful conversation you can have with that person. With me, I think my character being dead, but I would have loved to have a chance to talk to I don't know. Don Adams seems like a good choice for me.
He was the guy that was like Inspector Gadget and Get Smart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two shows that I actually kind of grew up watching, even though Get Smart was way before my time. I got to have a chance to watch that as reruns. I remember I would come home from school and I would watch that and MacGyver.
I used to watch Get Smart. It was good. It was now Inspector Gadget wasn't really meant to be a sequel to it, but you could take it as that. You know what I mean?
You could kind of take it as like Inspector, especially the fact that
It had so many similarities.
there was no real name for Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, Inspector Gadget's real name wasn't even thought of at the time. So you could, especially the fact that Don Adams
He voiced both. He voiced Inspector Gadget, and he was Maxwell Smart.
He made the voice very similar.
Yeah.
And he played those two characters as if they were almost the same person.
Yeah.
Like with Maxwell Smart and Get Smart, his voice was more like, missed it by that much. But I used to be able to do the voice a hell of a lot better. But it's the same attitude, like the forgetfulness, the similar voice, the just the overall sense that you got from Maxwell Smart. You kind of got that same vibe from the original Inspector Gadget. So, in some instances, you would kind of feel, if you watched both of them, you would kind of feel that maybe Inspector Gadget was, in fact, Maxwell Smart. In the sense that, like, he walked into a situation that pretty much maybe ruined his entire body, and then they had to get creative with cyborg technology, and then they made him into a basically a RoboCop, a robo detective, and which Inspector in the U.S. isn't very common as a way of saying detective. That's more of like a UK thing, like a Europe thing, somewhere around there. But yeah, I would love to be able to talk to Don Adams and probably ask him the one question that most people would probably be dying to ask him. And that would be, is Inspector Gadget a continuation of Gizmo? Are they the same person? So, yeah, that would be my one question to one celebrity. What about you?
That's actually a good one. I guess if you had talked to him for years.
Because with me, that conversation would never happen. Not in my lifetime, not in any other lifetime, because he has passed away.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I know it's a stupid question, but for me, it would just be just a fact to be able to talk to.
Yeah. Speaking of ones that passed away, I'd love to talk to Leslie Nielsen, the guy, you know, talking about the guy with the white hair that was in like a lot of like parody movies.
Yeah.
Just like his opinion on different things. Because before he was a comedy actor, he was a serious actor. Like some of his stances on that.
What made him go into comedy?
Yeah, and then I think in an interview once he even said like when he plays comedy roles, he plays them serious because it's funnier to do like a funny role serious. You know, have you noticed that?
That kind of makes more sense because then like people don't expect like, oh, this is a joke.
And you laugh more because it's being played so straight.
Yeah, and the moment you notice, like, okay, this is a complete gag. it kind of gives you a different haha when you finally kind of realize that.
Yeah.
But for the people watching, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
We both did a past. Let's do a present. Just because we got the time to do so. And I'll let you go first.
Yeah, there's quite a few presents here. It's not working.
You need the box for the brain.
Yes. Now honestly, presents. There's quite a few celebrities. I would want to talk to. One I'd be interested in talking to would be, since we're both Metal Gear fans, David Hayter. Just his opinion on like things that he's done through the years, things like that. I know other ones I talked to would love to talk to, be like Ryan Reynolds, Jim Carrey. There's quite a few celebrities I want to talk to.
I would probably pick Jim Carrey, but I've got to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool guy. Really cool guy. A little bit crazy, but cool nonetheless. And I kind of see myself somewhere in the future being able to have a conversation with Ryan Reynolds. Very much because he's very down to earth and he's the kind of person that, as long as you're not being a complete and total dick and just approaching them without a care in the world or, with disrespect. Like, if you approach him like you would approach any other person, I think he would be in the mindset to give you the time of day. That's the kind of person he kind of gives vibes off of. Same with Kanye Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. I see myself kind of having a chance to be able to speak to them, at least somewhere down in life. Because there's always a way to be able to get a chance to speak with them.
Yeah.
But I would probably say a current one for me would be Mark Hamill, because one, his age now, Carrie Fisher has passed away. I would like to be able to meet Mark Hamill and just be able to talk to him before he passes. Because Mark gives off this sense that, if you approach him with respect, he'll be more inclined to have a conversation, and I don't think that I would have a chance to come across him before, before he would end up passing on. So I would actually like to talk to him and get his input on, like, going from live action acting to voice acting, and how he would feel if his role was reversed, if he started out voice acting rather than live action, and how he would let himself adapt or try to adapt to the new scenario, and like how he was able to adapt to voice acting when he did get into voice acting. Because that's what I do, is voice acting. And I would also love to just be able to work with him too, before he would pass or whatever. And there's many reasons why I don't pick other celebrities. But those two be mine. And you said your present one?
Yeah, I said mine already.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be a shorter topic, but we want your guys' feedback. Like, who would you talk to?
With me,
Yeah.
I don't really fanboy over really anybody.
No, they're people. Just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of this person or that person. I'm also not going to treat them any differently than I would want someone to treat me. If I'm out eating somewhere and just somebody random came running up to me and it's like, hey, can we get a picture together? That would probably freak me out.
Yeah.
That would probably be like, no, I'm eating my food. Please go away until you see that I'm not doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would be able to be like super rude or want to really come off rude. But I would also want the person to respect my space.
Yeah.
My privacy, my space. And I don't want to give this impression that, like, it's okay for people to treat celebrities with such disrespect that you interrupt their personal time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see that they're not doing anything, they're not in the middle of anything, and you just happen to come across them, you know, do treat people with respect. Because with me, friends that I grew up with ended up going on and made a name for themselves after parting ways. And to me, they're not celebrities. They were friends that I grew up with. And for some of them, they probably wouldn't even remember me even today, because a couple of them I haven't seen since parting ways. Like with Mike Mizanin. I've met him a couple times because another friend of mine's family owned a martial arts dojo in Cleveland, Ohio. And I happened to go to the studio many, many times throughout my childhood. And I've came across Mike Mizanin a few times, but not in a sense where, how would you say it? Not in a sense where you would normally, like, off the cuff remember the conversation.
Yeah, it was a casual conversation. It wasn't even serious.
Yeah, it was like just meeting any other person going up and down the street. It was that type of thing, and that was even before he became the Miz or any of that nonsense. And it wasn't more like we were friends. It was just the fact that we did have a conversation before really he became the Miz. Yeah. So, but it was also around the time where he was kind of in wrestling school, because there was a wrestling school. I think it was either across the street and up a couple of ways from the actual dojo that my friend's family owned, or it was because of the restaurant on the same block. But it wasn't to the point where at that time you would force yourself to remember the conversation, where it took place, like all that stuff. And I wouldn't go out of my way to even if he would come to my area, I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, to like run up to him in the middle of doing something and be like, hey, you may not remember this, but I met you before you were even famous.
Just tell me what you need.
Well, for starters,
can I have an autograph, or can I have a picture with you?
Some of these old houses,
and that's like,
enough.
they're not
That's stupid.
You need to, I mean, yeah, if they're not doing anything, that's one thing, but you need to treat them like people. They're people, same as, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also know from the friends that I did grow up with that, and later on went into like the movie industry or started doing like TV shows or music or whatever. For me, it was
coming up.
Great.
Sturgis.
To me, they were no different than how I knew them. And if they did change their personality and I was aware of it, like, I would be the kind of person that would be like, hey, this isn't you.
Yeah.
You've became an asshole since you were famous.
Trouble is, the more we establish
Like, to me,
I'm on it.
Thanks. It'll make everyone feel more secure.
Hey, Sturgis.
knowing people like that,
We'll all sleep better at night.
that also kind of gives you that sense that, like,
I was glad.
Well, I
celebrities,
appreciate it. Of course, you know
like,
you're welcome anytime.
there's
My door's always open.
there's no difference between a celebrity or any other random person
I guess I better get
walking up and down your street.
Take care now.
To be honest, most celebrities, if you ever come across them, most of the time you're not gonna know that they're a celebrity because they don't want you to know that. Most of the time, unless they're already doing a gig, like if they just happen to be in your town, they just either want to do their normal job or, they want respect.
Yes.
And to me, like, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Just going starstruck all because you think that you met a celebrity or whatever isn't really the reaction that celebrities really want. Most celebrities want the reaction of like, oh, this person is just like me.
Yeah. And yeah, they like seeing fans, but there's obsessing.
Yeah, there's being a fan and treating someone like you would treat any other normal person. Because they are a normal person. They just have more of a recognizable face at that point. But it's not any different than, and this is something that someone that was or still is famous that had told me, fame is what you make it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter too much about the money itself. You could be famous and dress like a hobo and have people not even bother with you rather than not have any money but dress like you do. And I think in some ways that kind of makes sense in the way that, like, don't just bother someone all because of how they make their money. Just, like, the sense, don't avoid a passing beggar just because they don't have a home. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or,
So what's your story? Looking at rob me?
don't just approach someone because of their
See
wealth
what you got.
or their
I
fame.
have a little bit of everything.
And don't avoid someone just because of the lack of it. Treat everybody as you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
Like, so if you were down on your luck, you wouldn't want people just to avoid you. And if you were rich, you wouldn't just want someone to just run up to you. You would just want someone to treat you like you matter. Like just being there means something. And I think that that's the direction that this person that I talked to wanted people to take from that conversation. Now, I know that you've talked to people that I've never gotten to talk to. We've both had two different paths in life. Very similar, but also different at the same time.
Mhm.
And you said you've met Tara Strong.
Yeah, at a convention. She was cool to talk to. Yeah, I met her. I met Kyle Hebert, the voice of Gohan, the BBC narrator, and a bunch of other voices. I met a few.
What's the conversation that you can easily, like, what's the most heartfelt conversation that you had that just by hearing this question that you can easily, like, oh, it's right there in the forefront of my mind, and this really means a lot to me physically and emotionally.
We didn't really have, like, me talking to famous celebrities, we didn't really do anything heartfelt. We were more or less just, like, joking around with each other. Because it was after a panel, and we were just talking. You know what I mean?
Like,
it wasn't anything serious.
did anybody really give you, like, an advice that would really, like, mean something to you?
Yeah, they more or less said, like, just to get into, like, voice acting and
We
stuff,
had
just
a deal.
do it, you know what I mean? Things like
Hand
that.
over the goods.
I
The,
ain't got no poison shilling chem pushers anything.
Whoa, whoa.
What
trying
that
to
junk
think
has
now.
done to my boy.
But as far as, like,
You
after the
stop
panel, it
lying
was
like
basically
that
just
in
us
my
talking
face.
to them. Because they, like, offered autographs after the panel, and we were just kind of talking. There was another friend with me, a couple other friends with me, and we were,
Now hand over your money.
like, telling about some of the different things we can do and things like that. And it was interesting.
So, not really have, like, a
It wa-
heartfelt
It
conversation, but
It was just a casual conversation. It wasn't like life changing. It was cool to meet them, but we weren't like.
it wouldn't be like
I'm like, holy crap.
something that you would keep in your very soul.
No, the fact that we had a conversation, with a celebrity is like, oh, this is cool, but it wasn't like,
Can't wait to see the crow.
it wasn't ground changing, life altering.
This is for you.
It was cool.
Now, if you ever need to trade,
I also think, like, growing up
I'll take
with
a look. Sure.
a celebrity would also, like, help keep you grounded too.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, there's no reason kind of, like, geeking out over a celebrity.
Yeah.
And when I did have a chance to pass a celebrity or get to talk to one, to me, it wasn't any different than me talking to my friends.
Mhm.
Or talking to just some random person down the street. I think it's more, anybody can have a conversation with you, and I think you would remember it more just the fact that it was a heartfelt conversation.
Yeah.
Rather than just the fact that the person was famous.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because, like I said, I've had friends that went on to go into fame and fortune. But to me, they're just that. They were my friends.
Mhm.
Some of them I still talk to till this day. Some of them I haven't talked to since I left the area. And I'm not gonna go out of my way just to get back in contact with them just because they had an opportunity to be in a position that I'm not in.
Mhm.
Like, I don't harbor any hard feelings because of it. They're just any other person like I am. They took a path that I didn't take. That's just about it. But some of the friends that I did stay close to gave me opportunities that I probably wouldn't have been able to have on my own.
Yeah.
And for me, that kind of means a lot. But even if they didn't give me that opportunity, it probably wouldn't have changed a damn thing or changed how I view them.
Yeah.
The ones that I stayed in contact with, I wouldn't change that just because they didn't take me to go film with them. Or they didn't take me to help me learn how the industry works. I wouldn't have held that against them. Because it was their choice if they wanted to take me or not.
Yeah.
And with that, it's like, just treat people with respect. I think that's more along that line.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. Because I notice with a lot of people and celebrities, most people don't have an ounce of respect for personal space, all because that person is a celebrity. And to me, that's wrong. I wouldn't want anybody treating my friends that way. I wouldn't want someone treating me that way. So I wouldn't treat anybody else that way. And that's something that we both have in common.
Yeah. Treat people with respect.
But there's always like that chance that you could come across someone, and I could kind of see myself coming across someone like Ryan Reynolds or like Keanu Reeves, and that's why I didn't mention that. But I knew I would never get a chance to come across Don Adams or Richard Dean Anderson, because they've already passed. I don't see myself ever getting a chance in my lifetime to meet Mark Hamill. Because Mark Hamill's up in his age. There's not many chances that he would probably come near my area to do any filming or recording or whatnot. Because most people that come around this area are usually like small time. If you do see someone like that.
Okay, cut the shit. Who is that?
And it wouldn't be the first time because Cleveland does have a recording studio. It's also got a few other things that brings people in. And there's a few times where somebody has came into my town just passing through. And just meeting them off of a whim. But there's no reason to disrespect them to the point of not treating them as if they were just a person, but just treating them because of fame. And I think just the fact of like what meeting that person would really mean for you as like something that you would take with you to your grave.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most important thing.
Makes sense.
So with that being said, who would you talk to that would mean so much to you to have just a normal person-to-person conversation or whatnot? Leave your answers in the comments down below. If you agree with my take on how to treat celebrities and whatnot, it doesn't have to be a celebrity. It could just be any random person down the street. If you agree that you need to approach people with respect instead of just approaching them because they have a name out there, then, give this a like. If you think I'm just batshit crazy and that all because someone's famous they don't deserve any respect, then give it a thumbs down. And I'll give you a thumbs down. Because this is random ConFlux. And I think that if you're watching this video and you've had time enough to take this video in, I hope that this video speaks to you in the sense of grabbing your loins in a spiritual way and allows you to feel comfortable just collecting that subscribe button just so you would be notified or have our name in your subscription feed. And I think there's a bell icon that gets unlocked if you hit the subscribe button. And with that, you would be, if you just press it, I believe you would be notified every time we drop a video. It goes into, I believe, your notification tab in your on YouTube, and it really does help our channel grow a lot better. And there is a fraction of you that watch our videos that aren't subscribed. I don't know why. We're not asking for money for you to subscribe. It's there. It's free. Just press the damn button. I mean, it takes less time to press the button than it does for you to listen to this conversation. It would probably take less time for you to press the button than to meet someone famous. And I think if you would just take the time to press the subscribe button, to ring the bell notification button, I think that somewhere down the road, somewhere in your life, you would come across someone that would make a difference in your life. So, with that being said, I'm sorry, this is Random ConFlux, and until next time, feel squirrely, my friends.